What's going on, everybody? Blazing here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be talking about Centranos, and we're going to be working on the Scarab King boss for Centranos. Now, the guide that I'm currently going to show is, I'm not going to use the words free to play, but pretty achievable, right? So we're going to be working into deadrise, and we're going to be working with our boy Scarab King, and we're going to be using actually a rare, and this rare is none other than our girl. As soon as she pulls up, here we go, Frozen Banshee. All right, so what does Frozen Banshee do? Well, she brings poison sensitivity, and then she's got some turn meter boost, right? A3 brings poison sensitivity, A2 gives us turn meter boost depending on how many debuffs the target has, and then the A1 gives us a 80% chance, books up to 100 of placing 5% poisons, the big version. So basically the thought process with this is the same way that we do it in normal and hard. Doom Tower, we're going to do the same thing. Now the requirements that you're going to need for this are actually a lot lower. I'm going to put a card right here right now so you can pause it and see what you need, but they're not that not that crazy. I think the Scarab King's got about 150 speed. We're looking minimum to have about 300 resistance and about 250 accuracy. So just kind of like a general build of what you would build her for most other content. Now, I will show you the build after this, but let's go ahead and do the run. Now, I am not going to lie, I really do love that we just start off right at the bosses, but we do have a blood shield accessory on her. Is it needed? Kind of. You want to be able to put up the poison sensitivity to make this run go a lot faster. I don't have an AI set up for this, right? If I did, I'd turn off the A2 and wouldn't really use the turn meter boost. We're having not the best luck because we are off affinity, but it will eventually happen, right? It might not be the fastest run, but it will eventually happen. So you can see here, we've got the Scarab King down, it looks like 90%. Poison sensitivity is landing. Again, we're just weak hitting. There is no worry of us dying. We do have her in a regen set. Do you need the regen set? Not really. You could use like a triple immortal set. You could use a bolster set. You could use anything that's going to give you some healing back. I would not suggest Guardian though, but anything else would work. So we're what, minute 15 in, 75%. The boss is down. Again, we're weak affinity, so it's not going to help us out, right? But it is a pretty budget way of getting this guy down if you don't have any crazy OP champions. I mean, my account, I do, and I could very well kind of steamroll through this if I just bring in some champions with a destroy set on. But is it worth building a team just for this? Not really, right? So we're about 60% down, working looks like 50 right now. We're getting a little bit better with the poisons, landing them. We're not getting as many weak hits as we were. And building it with 100% crit rate wouldn't really matter on the weak hits anyways. So not worth it. But let's talk about, what kind of, I guess, what else we could use, right? Poisons are going to work the best. You could come in with triple cold hearts if you have enough destroy sets to put them on, and that'll be fine. Is it really worth it, though, to build that many champions? No. Lifesteal sets are actually not going to work in this scenario, right? I do want to mention that. Usually the go-to build for Frozen Banshee is a lifesteal set, but it's not going to work in this situation because we're not hitting, we're not getting any War Master procs, so we're not going to be able to heal as much. You can see here, we're not really falling below the 50%, so it tells you that it's still achievable with lesser stats. It might just take a little longer, right? The ideal speed that you're going to want to have is going to be 200. Masteries are not going to really need it unless you really have them already. I currently have mine. Booking her is definitely going to be a must, right? And let's see, 3 minutes, 35 seconds. looks like 15%. Just need 2 more poisons. Yeah, I would definitely say if you put an AI setup, or if you decide to manual this, don't use the A2. It just takes longer. But blood shield accessories are going to need to be a you're going to need them. Let's just say that. You know, and it's not going to matter what you have, right? It doesn't have to be a defensive, an HP, or an attack, unless your builds are, you know, in desperate dire of them. But here we go. Come on, one more tick. There we go. All right, 4 minutes, 22 seconds, 229 turns. We got Frozen Banshee with 4 Abalisters. Let me show you guys the build. All right, so we're not going to need to have this many Ascensions. They do help if you have them. You take a little bit less damage, I believe, but they're not going to be needed. Now, I know you're going to look, all of my Ascensions on my gear are, you know, full and blah, 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 blah. Don't worry, guys. The stats that I currently have on her are way, way too much. You could definitely go 25, 30% less and you'll still be fine. All right, so the one thing that we want to make sure that we have is the Blood Shield accessory, right? We want to make sure so that we're not getting too many counterattacks. Now, if you have a counterattack accessory, that's actually going to be really good for her, right? Being able to land more of those poisons. Now, let's talk about the gear. So the only set or something you're going to want to try to get as close to is the regen set, right? If you don't have a regen set, triple immortal will be fine, right? Whatever's complete set you have that is going to heal for at least 10% is going to work out fine. Let's talk about the stats. Stats wise, we don't get any area bonuses. So what do we have? We've got her built at 2.6k defense, 64k HP. Now you saw she never really dropped below 50%. So you could drop the HP a little bit. I'd say you're probably safe around 50 to 55k. Defense wise, I wouldn't drop too low, right? I'd try to stay close to like the 23, 2400 mark if you can. Speed, we got her at 192. We don't care about crit rate. We don't care about crit damage. Resistance is an overkill. You only need about 300 resistance. Again, I'll put the info card here that shows exactly what you're going to need for resistance, right? Accuracy 250 is going to be fine. If you can get 300, that works well, right? Let's talk about booking situation. Booking situation, we do have it fully booked. Dark Resolve is what we did take. There's nothing really much better, but you get a decent amount of HP, a decent amount of resistance, right? And then has a chance of blocking any freeze, provoke, and true fear. We are going to get provoked if we don't have a shield buff on, so this does help. Let's talk about masteries. Masteries wise, it really depends on what you want to do. Now, if you don't have the accuracy for it, you can go and take Eagle Eye. If you're going to do that, then you follow the same tree that we currently have here, right? So you're going to take Spirit Haste. This is actually very important to help you get past the 200 mark for the speed, right? That's why we brought the 4 chickens in. We don't really need them. We're not going to gain anything else other than that 24 speed. We did bring Master Hexer. We brought in Lore of Steel along with Cycle of Magic. We did also take Arcane Celerity, Charge Focus, along with Pinpoint Accuracy. Now, that's if you need to get the accuracy. If you don't need the accuracy and you need the resistance, then follow this tree and you'll be perfectly fine, right? Take Unshakable. Go ahead and take Retribution with Delay of Death, along with Resurgent. Make sure you take Wisdom of Battle, take Improved Parry. You can also take Rejuvenation, and you can take Defiant. So there it is, guys. Scarab King completed, right? Let me know in the comments down below, is this build achievable for you? What team did you use to get this done? I don't think it's that bad. We got a rare champion that can do it. So far, I'm going to go ahead and say it's pretty free to play. The Ascensions are not needed, right? And that's pretty much about it. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to join us on Sunday for the Knights of Teleria. It's at 2 p.m. EST. You have myself, Final Compachi, JR Star 3s, Jarek Gaming, Gesto Gaming. You also have Nacho Plays 50. And then, you know, sometimes we add some random people in from the community as content creators, trying to get as many views as possible. We talk about everything raid. And then, you know, we have some friendly banter along with not being scared to call each other out when we have to. I know Nacho likes to bring out those boxing gloves with me. So, as always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys on the next one.